Good morning. Good morning. Good morning now that I'm recording. How are you this morning? It is Wednesday morning, March 23rd, 2022. I'm coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Who am I? I'm a real estate broker. I'm a real estate agent. My name is John Schenk. I founded Deerwood Realty a number of years ago to try and get out there and really help my buyers and really help sellers with the real estate sales process, mostly in the residential sphere. However, we do some light commercial if our clients request that service. That's probably the cleanest I've ever done the intro. And I just wanted to go over a number of things with you today. We're not going to go over because I have to go to lunch. I have a lunch date at 11:30. Now I'm not sure if I can use the word lunch date if it's not a date, but I'm married, so a lunch appointment maybe is the right approach. I have a lunch appointment. It sounds like I'm appointed to lunch. Anyway. Look, today we're just gonna enjoy ourselves. Why? I don't know. Did I wake up in a better mood than normal? No, not really. I just feel like this is going to be a good show. Now, when I do this a minute in the show, that could be a jinx. I could be jinxing myself here really bad. And if that's the case, then I apologize in advance for what comes in the future. Can you even do that? Wow. That's enough with the ums. We're gonna throw out the ums today. How is the chat? The chat is fine. I'm going to say that the chat is fine. So I opened a Discord channel server. A Discord. I have a Discord. Deerwood Realty Daily is where I want to play around with people all day long, and show what I'm doing and post all the stuff. And I want all my Instagram. I want all my social media. I want everything in one place. I don't know if this is going to work, but I just want if you I'm a real person. Like I get up in the morning and I go to work, and I'm as real as you can be. And I think it'd be fun to talk to people all day, little light chatting. Now, come on. Now, you already know I have more work that I can ever possibly do in a day. So, keep that in mind. But I do want that. I want that community built around Deerwood Realty. Now, you say, well, John, I'm not buying a house in St. Louis. I'm not selling a house in St. Louis. Why do I need to? Well, real estate, there are local trends and there are local traditions. For example, in Minnesota, I believe that the seller pays for the title work, which is unheard of here. Buyer always pays for traditionally, buyer pays for the title work here. There are going to be differences. But if you want to talk about is the market hot for sellers right now? I suspect that's true everywhere. If you want to talk about, hey, I'm getting a home inspection, what are the things I should look out for? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea. I did the I'm sorry. And if I say anything more about it, it's going to get worse. So we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. If you have a financing issue, I'm of the opinion that you want to get your financing together up front. You want to do a good job up front. You want to make sure that you're ready to go. And I But anyway, what I see a lot, I'm sorry, my eye itches. What I see a lot is people on shaky credit, on shaky financial terms, go in and make a deal with someone who's also desperate and doing something weird. And so it's two parties that probably shouldn't be involved in a transaction that are, and then it gets out of hand. That's what I see a lot in real estate. I see a lot of people, they want to believe something is so they do it. And it's dicey. So we talk about those things. But the server for me is just a place where, you can know that I am. I haven't put it on my phone yet. The problem with that is I have one old iPhone and I have one new iPhone. I have a 13 and I have like a 6. And so the 6 is my work one. I'm changing it next year. I refused to change it this year because I got the new personal phone and I didn't want to be stuck in the same date like I was when I had 2 6s. I think I had 6s. I don't know. I really don't. Anyway, I don't know if I like to keep my work and I like to keep my private life somewhat separate. There are days when I work too much, weeks, where I work too much and I get run down. Saturday this past week, I was just done, just fried, need a day off. And I don't take days off. I don't take structured days off. I don't do anything like that. But I sort of just collapse. It's probably not healthy. But that's what I do. So there's certain things about your personality. There's certain things about who you are that just kind of take over and, work till I fall over and don't want to work anymore is who I am. I'm not proud of it. It just is what it is. I've clearly made some errors on some stuff and I'm not going to go back and fix it. So good luck on this today. I'm not real happy about what's going on. I need to press one more button and I forgot. I'm kind of embarrassed. Anyway, so the Discord server, that's going to be more and more prominent as I go along, hopefully with more people. So that's where I am there. Let's get into a home showing report. Let me talk about my day yesterday. So I am on social media and I am on social media for my business. If I had my druthers, I would not be on social media. You wouldn't know I was on it. I don't like to promote myself. I don't particularly like to give people windows into my life on these posts. I also don't like these inspirational posts about like, there's some girl in a string bikini and she's like, I can overcome everything. And it's like, you're also very, very attractive. And some of us can't pull that off no matter what we do. I mean, I know you say everybody's beautiful and everything. I get it, but come on. I'm talking about the trite and stupid, fake words. So anyway, on social media, I had like 2 former clients talking to each other on Facebook, and one said, "Hey, you should use John. He should, help you with your gifts that you're making. He could give them to his clients and you could build your business that way." And it was like, that person doesn't particularly want to talk to me right now. So this isn't good. And then someone else is like, "Hey, great. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, you should do that, John." I'm like, so that was awkward and sad because the whole situation is just terrible. Now you say, "John, did you start a terrible situation?" No, I'm not involved in any of the terrible situations. These people did this to themselves. I had nothing to do with it. So anyway, that was sad. And the day was kind of going south. This was after lunch, so around 2. Day was going south. What we got here? Okay. Sorry. I'll turn over the phone because it's going to get ridiculous if I don't. There's the I felt terrible. It was after lunch, felt terrible. It was raining here. It was wet. I'm using a different car than my own right now. It's a whole, I don't know if I told you, but I got a whole mess with my wife's car, and it's like, ugh. So anyway, sitting around, feeling sorry for myself, get a call from a fellow friends for years. He was moving out of town, which hurts. I didn't want him to move. What I would say family friend, but like real close friend, like go to war type friend. Yeah. So he's like, hey, I'm going to start looking for a house here because I'm going to stay. I'm staying in St. Louis. I was like, yes, this is great. So he's like, can we go see this house here? I saw it on, I think, realtor.com or something. Yeah, let's go see it. So we go see it. It's a terrible disaster. Horrible house. Disgusting. In no way would someone want to buy it. Let me go through it for you so that you know what that is. First of all, just under $300,000. 2 bedrooms. 2 baths. Okay? And by the way, the pictures of this house are gorgeous. And that's what you need to know, is that the pictures lie. So we go in, and first of all, on the disclosure, it's like code violations. Code violations when you're trying to sell a house. Not good. Not good. You'd prefer to have like the code violations fixed. That'd be good. But anyway, go to the house. I asked about the code violations before we went. Real estate agent, really nice guy, says, hey, this is what's the deal. And it's nothing that can't be overcome, and we'll have it fixed before you move in. That was good. So then I go to the house, and to get into the house, there's like a gate. So you have to go through the gate, and then there's like a screen and porch. You got to go through that, and then you got a super, and everything's fine. So we get there, and I'll tell you something. It's strange. I almost can tell how a house is going to show when I try to unlock the door at this point. I know that sounds wild, but I mean, the combination of the door handle, how hard it is to open the door itself, the quality of the door being used, the distance between, like, if the door shakes or if the door is like tight, if you have to pull in on the door just to unlock it, I can almost tell how a house is going to show just based on the door, just based on my entrance. When you say that's ridiculous, that's ridiculous. No, it says something about the owner, because certain people aren't going to put up with anything. Like, they're not going to put up with anything with construction, and then other people put up with a lot. I myself put up with more than I should. As an example, if I hire a professional to do something, I hire a professional, they better do it really well. If I hire some guy off the street that might be addicted to crack, then I'm not expecting too much. And I know who you use based on what I see in the front door. Okay. And let's not kid ourselves. Many people will find the cheapest repair possible or cheapest upgrade possible when knowing that when they know they're going to sell their house. And I'd say 70% of people aren't even going to notice how crappy the construction is. So we went to a house. It's in Kirkwood, Missouri. Kirkwood, Missouri, to me, is a fascinating place where it was a nice community, and it was so nice that people started buying houses, tearing them down, and building kind of McMansions. So you're anything below about $250 on a lot in Kirkwood, it's gone. It's going to be gone, and you're going to build a craftsman style home on it, because that's what people do. Is it strange? I don't know. It to me. You destroy the fabric of the neighborhood, and you put people that kind of made the area what it was into something completely different. And if that's what you're good with, if that's what makes you happy, and I've got nothing. I've got no need to criticize. In some ways, I wish it would happen more often in other communities, because we would never have poverty, right? But you have to understand that if you're buying the lot for $250 and your house, the contractor's going to want some profit out of that. You're in the 7s, 8s on your building easily. So you have to have a place that sustains that. And so that's why, that's why they do it. Myself, I don't enjoy that. We live in a subdivision that all brick homes. Nothing's been changed. There's been one house got burnt down and they built it back up again. Same style. I'm good with that. what they do in Kirkwood is fine if that's what they want. So anyway, we go to a house, and I think the asking price is like 260, 270, so a little too high, and the lot isn't right for development. And that's really what you need to know is it's the lot isn't the right, it's not set the right way to where development would make any sense. And so you get stuck with this house is built in 1920. Somebody came in and fixed it up. They put a big room on the side, very nice, like a living room with a tray ceiling, looks great. You walk in, it was a rental for like 12 years. You look on the left, there's a kitchen, and it's from the kitchen. It looks like it's from, well, the cabinets look original, and then the appliances look like they're from the mid 90s. But it looked good in pictures. And then the flooring is, I believe, a laminate type. Okay, and then you go back. There's a bathroom, and then there's the Home Depot carpet in the bedroom. That also leads out to the backyard. Backyard is on the side of the house. There's a wood fence that's falling down everywhere. There's a wooden, what would you call a wooden structure that's like a deck that isn't attached to the house? Because there's one of those and it's in a circle. And we thought it was a fire pit, but it doesn't make any sense because there's trees all around. Like you wouldn't want to put a fire pit there, I don't think. Anyway, then you go to the basement, and the basement is just odd. There's one section, you go down, and there's like all these steps, and there's a chair, and there's an office looking thing, but for short people. And then you go in the next room, and there's like, you go up these stairs, and then you go, and there's this basement, like leaking everywhere, water leaking everywhere, and that's where your washer and dryer go. Now this is for like $270 in Kirkwood. And that's like probably the right price in this market. Terrible house. Terrible house. What did my buyer learn? Pictures lie. Number one. Number two, Kirkwood's pricey. I mean, if you want to get in there, you're going to have to be in a much different price. So anyway, but, doing that, then I came home, didn't have a podcast done. I had started writing it before I left. I got that done, recorded the podcast, put the podcast on YouTube. We're talking 9:30, 10 o'clock, which is tough. So we put, I got done like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I was tired. I went to bed, and now I'm here with you. But I wanted to say that's kind of how my real estate career goes. You start off where it's sad. There's days that are really bad, like kicks to the stomach. And then things get better. You get somebody call you out of the blue that wants to go look at a house, or you talk to somebody who wants to sell a house. Now, we're going to move to the next issue I have, and that is I am at a loss as, being a buyer's agent right now. Let me explain what I mean by that. Okay. I don't know how many buyers I have anymore. I used to tell you I had 6. I used to tell you I had 10. I don't know how many I have. Okay. There's a lot. And I literally work by myself with my colleague Jan, who helps me if I need it. But right now, this is my deal. I show houses. Okay. Every weekend I show houses, and I write offers, and sometimes we'll get a house and sometimes we won't. But I'd say for every 100 offers I write, like I'm getting 2 or 3 acceptances. And that might be high. And you say, well, John, you need to ask more. You need to really, really blow it out of the water for pricing. And it's like, guys, I am. I mean, there are constraints in the marketplace, and let me try and go over that for you. Number one, there's like a mortgage constraint. And how does that work? Well, my buyers can only afford so much. Okay. And you say, well, that sucks for them. Yes, it does. But the thing that they can only afford is a really, really, like, you should be able to buy a house in America for what these people are what the money these people have, a decent home. So we've got this problem. The second problem is we're going above appraisal. And so you say, well, that's awesome that you're going above appraisal. No, it's not, because now my buyers have to come to the table with more money to cover the appraisal gap. That's bad. That's bad. So now that's not even good enough for the sellers in this market. They want a house. They want you to buy it as is, which means you're not going to negotiate repairs, which I don't have a problem with. I've always thought that buyers really unfairly took a shot at sellers for a second negotiation when one wasn't required. But at the same time, I want my buyers to be able to inspect the properties and know what they're getting into. And here's how the theory works. Okay, the theory works like this. Okay, you go to a house, and let's just say it's a $300,000 house. That's the value of the home. That's what makes sense. Okay, other houses in the area have sold for exactly $300,000. And so you agree to purchase this home. And what the seller doesn't know, and you obviously don't know, is that there's a terrible crack in a pipe in the basement that's going to cost $30,000 to repair, and it will be up to the buyer to repair that pipe. And they haven't even bought the house. So now their $300,000 house that made perfect sense is going to cost them $330,000. Well, the whole point of the inspection process was, hey, I didn't know about this. You didn't know about this. Can we come to some sort of mutual agreement? I'll pay half. You pay all. Whatever you want to do, but can we negotiate this so that we can, have an equitable deal? And I'm okay with that, man. I'll tell you, we had a house one time where in the attic there was a type of a bird that had burrowed holes in the entire. Burrowed holes in the entire walls. And so we didn't know anything about it. And so when the inspector went up there, I mean, you couldn't see in the attic. When the inspector went up there and showed us the pictures, it was like, this is going to be thousands of dollars worth of damage, and that's not worth it for this home. So we backed out. But for the most part, what it's actually become is the faceplate on your electric plug, which costs 99 cents at Home Depot, is cracked. We demand you hire a licensed electrician to replace the faceplate. We demand it, or we're walking. The air conditioner. We put the air conditioner through 30 tests that no human being would ever put in, and they found that the air conditioning under load at this particular spot doesn't work well, and we want an entire replacement of the air conditioning system and the furnace too, because it's old. That's never what the inspection was designed for. Never. And so it irritates me. It irritates me. But right now, as a buyer's agent, I'm sitting here and I'm writing offers as high as I can, no inspections. And what value are you bringing to your buyers when they ask you, John, what do you think this house will go for? Well, I don't know. I have no idea. How do I know? Depends on how many offers you say. Well, is that true? Is it can you tell just based on the offers? No, you can't really. For instance, you say, hey, what about what if there's 10 offers? Does that mean it's $20,000 over asking? What if it's 30 offers? Is that, $40,000 over? No, it doesn't work that way. So what we're seeing now towards the end here is people are buying houses as they go coming soon, which is, again, coming soon was for, hey, I don't have the house totally ready to go, but I want you guys to be aware, if you're out looking at a house, here's one coming up that might fit your needs, and it's going to go on the market in a week. So what that's become now, again, and they got rid of it for a while because what it was doing was it was restricting access to buyers. It was really bad. And you say, well, how is that? Because here's the thing. The rule is no show until it goes active. Okay? That's the rule. And so people were either allowing showings, which would be a real no-no, and I can't prove that. But houses are mysteriously, once again, going back under contract before they ever get shown to anybody else. This makes the market darker than it should be. By darker in this instance, I mean it makes the market not transparent. Okay, so I'll just illustrate the problem this way. Let's say there's a house coming up for sale. Okay, it's coming soon, and my buyers have just lost out on a home in the same street, in the same neighborhood, and they're bummed about it. Well, luckily there's this house coming soon next week. Once they make it active, we're going to go over there, and if we like what we see at the house, we'll write an offer on that one. Well, that's the way it should work. But what's happening now, or to me at least, is that house all of a sudden goes from coming soon to under contract. Now, how did that happen? Well, it happened one of two ways. One, they flat out just let someone through the house during the coming soon period. Or number two, they didn't, and they just took an offer like sight unseen. So someone wrote an offer for, say, $20,000 over asking, and they just took it. Now, is that good for the seller? I don't think so. The more people that go through the house, the better chance you have of getting a better offer. What you didn't do is make the house available for everyone, so we'll never know. We'll never know. So that's frustrating for me as a buyer's agent. And what is also frustrating for me is, like, let me try and explain this as best I can. If I don't sell a house, and if I don't get a house under contract for my buyers, I don't make any money. Okay. So imagine going week after week after week after week without income, not because you're not working, because believe me, it takes time to set up all these showings, to go to all these houses. I mean, every showing I go to is at least 1 or 2 hours of my day gone. Of my life. I mean, understand, of my life gone. And then to write an offer, that takes time. To formulate a strategy, that takes time. And then to just get beat out by 30 other offers. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And so when people say, hey, your commission's too high, when people say real estate agents get paid for doing nothing, I don't think they have any understanding about how the business actually works. And I don't think they care. But I mean, I'll tell you right now, my health insurance alone is $480 a month. Okay. That comes out of the commission check. It comes from no other source. Okay. To pay that bill, I have to make a commission. Okay. You say, well, I shouldn't be subsidizing your health insurance. Well, look, why do you think the commissions are so high? I mean, it's a hard business. It's a hard business. And when you're not doing transactions on a weekly or monthly basis, you're just putting out tremendous amounts of cash and time and not getting compensated for it. It's tough. To me, this is a very tough business. So I don't really have any sympathy for people that say, oh, you should cut your commission or something like that. You know, it's like you should go jump off a cliff. Let me go to your employer and say, hey, this person really decided they don't need health insurance. Okay. In fact, don't pay them for a month. Let them go to work, but don't pay them. And you'll see how it goes. You'll understand real quick. Maybe. You say, well, John, there's real estate brokerages that have employment opportunities. You're employed, you work for them. Yeah. I don't want to deal with those people. That doesn't go well. Why would you limit your income? Doesn't make any sense. And do more work for less. It's stupid. So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. No one's coming to my Discord, which is fine. I was just looking. So, am I in a dark place? No, not really dark place, but I'm struggling with writing offers and them not being accepted. I just want to check something. It looked bad, but now we're fine. Okay. All right. What do we got here? That's a pretty house. All right. I was checking my email. I'm sorry. Let's get into some Google search articles, I thought this was interesting. Let me get to my screen. The world's best tennis player, Ash Barty, is retiring at age 25. A couple problems with this. Number one, I'm not quite sure. I didn't know that she was the best women's tennis player. I don't even know who she is. I say a couple problems with that, meaning it's sad that I don't know who the top women's tennis player is. And it's even more sad that I thought it was like Serena Williams. And I know maybe you're gonna laugh at me. Maybe that's cringe, but I really had no idea who the top tennis player is on the women's side. I don't know who the top tennis player is on the men's side either. Top ranked. I mean, that's sad. Tennis has really fallen in my space. So it says Ash Barty, the world's #1 tennis player, has surprised the sporting world. And what I would say the tennis world, I wouldn't say the sporting world. If you were a fly fisherman, perhaps you're not going to know who Ash Barty is. Anyway, by retiring at the age of 25, only 2 months after winning her third Grand Slam singles titles at the Australian Open. Is the Australian Open a Grand Slam? I don't know. Or are you supposed to win 3 of? I don't know. Anyway, tennis has given me all my dreams plus more, but I know that the time is right now for me to step away. Barty said in a sometimes emotional but largely calm 6-minute video posted on her Instagram account. I don't have the physical drive, the emotional one, and everything it takes to challenge yourself at the very top level anymore. I'm spent, she explained in a short interview with her friend and former doubles partner, Casey Delacroix. And I can understand that. Barty won the 2019 French Open as well as Wimbledon and the Australian Open in Melbourne Park last year. That's why I thought it was the Grand Slam, but I wasn't sure. She became the first Australian player in 44 years to win at her home event in January, beating U.S. tennis stars along the way, who I also don't know. Barty previously left the tour for nearly 2 years in 2014, citing burnout, but came back to rise to the top of the sport. I know that many people may not understand it. I'm okay with that. I've given everything I can to this beautiful sport, and I'm really happy with that. For me, that is my success. Barty explained that she wanted to chase other dreams that don't necessarily involve traveling the world, being away from my family. Barty announced her engagement to trainee golf professional Gary Kissick in November. Tributes came in online. British men's Grand Slam winner Andy Murray wrote, "Happy for Ash Barty, gutted for tennis, what a player." Barty plans a media conference on Thursday. So, I don't know. I don't know about her. Here's the things I wanted to talk about. Number one, in high school, I had a friend that liked to play baseball. He was really good at it. He didn't want to play baseball when he got into college, though. He was good. He had talent. How do I put this? I've seen people make themselves into good players, but it's much better if you start off as just naturally gifted. Like, they talk about Kobe Bryant would get up in the morning at like 6 a.m. and practice. Yeah, but there was some talent there. And so, as someone who has tried many things and has seemingly very little talent in anything, at least the natural talent part, I'll work and work and work and work and work. That's no problem. But it's hard for me to understand how, if you had that kind of talent, you would just give up. So it's hard for me to understand that. Like, I don't understand it. I had another friend that was decent enough, could have played college football, and he said, "No, I'm just not going to do it." You know, D1 college football, not some sort of. Just not. They just get tired, and they were 18 years old. So this woman here is 25. You know, more power to her. Now, I'm also reminded of something that my roommate and I, if he saw me today, we could laugh about immediately. And that is, you guys probably don't remember a guy named Bjorn Borg. He was a tennis player. He was the best tennis player in the world. And he retired. He's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. And then a couple years later, he came back, but the sport had changed. And so one of the ways the sport had changed is they went to metal rackets. And he was so he comes back and he's rocking a wooden racket. And it's like, this isn't going to go well. And it didn't. So, you know, this woman's young. She's 25. Will she ever come back? I don't know. It's also very strange, like professional tennis, professional golf, and things like that. If you're talented and you stay in shape, you come back and you probably can get somewhere. Because of who you were. If you're like Joe the electrician down the street, okay, and you're playing well on the tour, you get a tour card. I don't know. I don't know that it's that easy to come back. I don't know that it matters if you come back. No one really knows you. So there's some level of celebrity or some level of accomplishment that must be retained for you to be able to come back from your retirement. Now, to me, I just retirements don't go well. Like Tom Brady retired, and he said he's going to spend more time with his family. I don't know if you've spent time with anybody's family, but typically they don't like you. The girls don't like you at a certain age, and the boys don't like you at a certain age. So it's like, if you're going to spend, you're quitting fame and fortune for this. You know, I don't think that's very smart. So anyway, good luck to her, Ash Barty, world's best tennis player that I didn't even know existed. Next story, I thought this was interesting. Oh my God. This is on CNN, and I don't know how this is being set up. In Google search, okay, Ash Barty was 100,000 searches, and this one here, I think it was 100. I'm going to put that it's 100. If I'm wrong, I'm lying, but it's not out of like malice. So this is the way it's in YouTube is this woman's name, Lauren Pazienza. Okay, but when I go to the article, it's 26-year-old woman charged with manslaughter and fatal shoving of an 87-year-old Broadway vocal coach. Okay, so I mean the headline here is terrible. If this is what happened, so let's get into it. It says a 26-year-old woman was charged Tuesday with one count of first-degree manslaughter and 2 counts of second-degree assault in connection with the death of an 87-year-old woman who was fatally shoved in New York City earlier this month, according to a criminal complaint. The charges stem from the death of Barbara Meyer Gustern, a Broadway vocal coach who police said was pushed from behind by a woman on the night of March 10th as she stood outside her apartment in Manhattan's Chelsea neighborhood. Lauren Pazienza, the accused woman, was arraigned Tuesday afternoon. Judge Michael Gaffey set Pazienza's bail at $500,000. She did not enter a plea, according to Naomi Puzzello and Caitlin Fowles, spokespeople for the Manhattan's DA's office. CNN reached out to Piazza's attorney for comment. Okay, so let's be fair here. She's being accused of this. Okay? She still has her day in court. Prosecutors said Pazienza crossed the street in the Manhattan neighborhood of Chelsea, allegedly called Gustern a derogatory name, and pushed her as hard as Gustern had ever been hit in her life. There was no apparent reason for the alleged attack, the criminal complaint said. An eyewitness to the assault took Gustern into the lobby of her apartment building. According to the Associate District Attorney Justin McNaby, emergency medical services transported her to the hospital, where she later died on March 15th after being removed from life support. Okay, the New York City Office of Medical Examiner concluded that the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head. It says, "We have lost one of the brightest little flames to ever grace this world," Gustern's grandson, A.J. Gustern, wrote in a Facebook post last week. "Bo Bob, I love you and you are always will be in my heart." After the attack, surveillance footage appeared to show Pazienza allegedly staying in the area for at least 20 minutes. Video appears to show her allegedly witnessing the ambulance arriving at Gustern's apartment about 13 minutes after the attack. Prosecutors accuse Pazienza of attempting to evade apprehension for the attack. In order to avoid arrest, Pazienza allegedly deleted her social media and her wedding website, though she had set a wedding date for June. She also left New York City, went to her parents' house on Long Island, and stopped using her cell phone, instead keeping it at her aunt's house to avoid discovery. An anonymous tip revealed that Pazienza was on Long Island with her parents, but when police arrived at her house, Pazienza's father said she was not home. Pazienza's attorney later called the police and arranged for Pazienza to turn herself in on Tuesday after evading arrest for nearly 2 weeks. Well, what do we make of this story? What do we make of this story? Is this a story of human grace, of humans being the best they can be? What would possess someone to shove an 87-year-old man or woman that they don't know and that they've never met before, and that apparently there's been nothing, like no one, like there's nothing to provoke the attack? And then, like, what happens, what I found most interesting is I have a friend that was a social worker. And he said, hey, but the problem is we try to use logic to work with people that are not thinking logically. Okay. And it just is a total mess. And so I agree with that. And in one of those ways, it's like this. This woman now, after she committed this horrible crime, or at least is charged for this horrible crime, she hid her cell phone. Is that the act of someone who's contrite or feels bad about what they did? I mean, just as a human. And then her parents, the parents who should be, trying to instill some sort of, this is good, this is bad, try to live your life in a positive way. Police come to their house. They say, we've never seen her. We don't know who she is. We don't know where she is. She's staying there. Now, I can understand you want to protect your child. I can't imagine the stress that you'd be going under. But come on. So this is a bad story. This woman's 26 years old. Apparently she's getting married, or she was. Her life is destroyed. Maybe it should be. Like, I don't want you to think, I don't want you to think that I'm taking her side. I'm just saying it's a terrible, terrible tragedy that this 26-year-old now will spend hopefully enough years in prison. You can't go murdering an old woman and get away with it, or you shouldn't be able to now. We can argue the justice system all day long in America, but anyway, this was sad. This was sad, and so it's weird that Google search will bring these types of things to the forefront. And that's all I have to say about that. I mean, rest in peace, and I hope that justice is served. By justice, I mean you find out who did it, and they are punished for their actions. That's what I mean for this particular case of justice. But in a court of law, this is what I'm reading. I don't know if this woman did it or not. And she's going to have a chance to go in front of her peers, hopefully. And unless she just pleads guilty and is done with it. But anyway, that's that. So here we go. Let's look at some houses now. Virginia. We looked at Virginia yesterday. We looked at Arlington, Virginia. And there's a building boom going on there that is sickening. This is Richmond, Virginia. And what I liked about this mostly is the style of homes are cool. They're different than what I would see in St. Louis, and so I thought we should look at a few. There's 3. This house here makes... Oh, there's a person there. That's weird. But anyway, it's kind of funny. What I'd like to do is look at the top 3 and then go from there. But let's actually look at some of the designs. So you got this one here. which is cool looking. You've got this one here, which is cool looking. The outsides, I'm sorry if I covered it up. And then you've got these three. So let's look at this one. First one, $3.75 million, 41 pictures, 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 77 days on the market, built in 1959, has a 3-car garage. Property details, not too big. One of Richmond's most prized properties, designed by Clarence Huff and positioned as the most desirable block of Windsor Farms. An architectural masterpiece on a double lot and framed by lush fountains, sculptures, and Charles Gillette designed gardens and paths. The interior offers tall ceilings, heavy millwork, well-scaled foyer with tuned turn staircase, magnificent living and dining rooms for the frequent entertainer. A walnut paneled library offers one of 4 fireplaces and rich built-ins. An elevator, I love the elevator. Hope they've got a picture of it. Serves every floor from basement to attic. A center island kitchen boasts stone countertops, high-end appliances, and is complemented by a spacious butler's pantry. A light-filled solarium leads to a bluestone terrace with pergola and enchanted fountain. From the patio walk to the hidden pool and pool house, screened by lush planting. The second floor also features tall ceilings, 5 bedrooms, all with updated baths and spacious closets. Master suite has a sitting room, fireplace, and 2 walk-in closets. The 5th suite is a guest retreat with sitting area and a large spa bath. Lower level has stunning second family room, wet bar and wine cellar. A large 3-car garage completes this exceptional home. Well, let's look and see. Not good. Been listed since 2020. Yeah, listed since 2020. Okay. So beautiful, beautiful curb appeal. Beautiful. And for those of you, I'm okay if you go all outside at first. I kind of like to go walking through the house and then end up in the backyard. But if you feel like this is the way to do it, then by all means. Oh, that's a beautiful staircase. That's a beautiful entrance. No question. And a modern kitchen. Uh-oh. Like, I did a podcast and they say you should take your animals off the wall for showings. You were going to take care of that dude. You're going to get rid of him. It's a majestic. Oh, look, more antlers. Like, this is on a $3.75 million home. So just knock it off. Don't tell people what to do. It looks pretty interesting. But see, I mean, here we're in this situation where I don't see the elevator. That's terrible. I don't like that wallpaper. So we didn't get to see the elevator. Disappointment. $2.9 million, 7 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 7,000 square feet. We'll have to see if there's like some acreage or something. That's on a 1 acre lot. The other one, this one here, we don't know. 17 pictures, built in 1945. Property details, nothing. Nice. Property history, listed 2021. Been listed since then. Let's look at some of the pictures. Jacob Taylor, Blue Valley Real Estate, LLC. That's cool. House is empty. Kind of weird. Kind of a shrine to yourself there, it looks like. Is that an elevator? So they've got an elevator, but we don't get to see the elevator in the big house. Okay, that was weird. 17 pictures of that house. We don't know how big the lot is. Let's go to this one, 2.2 million. Now, I mean, just not complaining, but this is 3.75 million, or 1.23 acre lot. And this is 2.2 million, 10,000 square feet on a pretty much a quarter or a third of an acre lot. 34 pictures, 46 days on the market, built in 1841. Property details. Once in a lifetime opportunity awaits with the opportunity to own this national and Virginia historic landmark property located in the heart of downtown Richmond. Already entitled with flexible TOD1 zoning, the Glasgow House offers a plethora of commercial or residential uses. Previously serving as a live-work property and as a mixed-use office, the spacious rooms and oversized proportions provide great canvas for many types of commercial use, including hospitality, institutional entertainment. The brick-walled garden courtyard is an urban gem for outdoor dining, hosting special events, or as a gathering space. Built in 1841, this Greek Revival mansion and carriage house still retain the unmistakable grandeur and distinct character of a bygone area, having been continually in use since its creation and never having fallen into serious disrepair like so many other historic properties. The Glasgow House can also serve multiple uses with separate means of egress. With its incredible history of celebrated owners, famous visitors, and noble significance, this amazing property is waiting for you to pen its next chapter and put your stamp on its storied and illustrious record. So are we going to live downtown? It was listed in 2020. Pretty house. I mean, it literally has a sign that says what the name of the house is. I mean, it's a nice house. I don't know that I'd want to make it into an office. An interesting piano. That might be a clavier. I mean, you know, what's interesting to me. Now, it's not perfect, okay? I can't tell directly from the pictures. But in the description, it says like so many houses have at least fallen into disrepair once or twice, and this one looks like it hasn't. And they're right. It kind of doesn't look like it's fallen into much disrepair for being as old as it is and being in continual use. So that's cool. That's what you can have in that house. Now, I wanted to go, something caught my eye, and it's this house here, because if you look back there, there's like a marsh or a lake. So, you know, let me check my chat, just make sure. Okay. So let's take a look at this house. 1.9 million, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, 5,685 square feet on a 1.49 acre lot. This is Joiner Fine Properties. They also have the #1 listing right now. 5 days on the market, 2-car garage built in 2006. Listed at 3/18/2022. So this week, let's just take a look and see like if we can understand what is behind here. I'm just kind of running through because a lot of wallpaper, and I'm kind of not doing wallpaper in my own thoughts. I don't know, like, I would not want to live right in front of a mosquito marsh, if that's what that is. For any amount of money, that would make me uncomfortable. I mean, you see it. I don't know what it is. Is it a swamp? It kind of looks like one. A wetland? I don't know. That one to me is a little bit dicey. But that's Richmond. I liked the houses there. I thought it was cool. Much better than Arlington. That was really annoying. I didn't like Arlington yesterday. All right. What do we got next? We got some articles. This article caught my eye. I don't know if it's true or anything like that, but I wanted to share it with you. 16 million U.S. homes are vacant. Here's where the most are, according to a new LendingTree report. Now, I didn't review this ahead of time. It says, even in the face of rising mortgage rates and stagnating construction numbers, the housing market is still scorching hot. Because of this, it may be difficult to believe that more than 16 million homes across the U.S. are sitting vacant. Well, it is hard to believe. It says, to get a sense of vacancy rates in the U.S., LendingTree analyzed the latest housing data to rank the nation's 50 states by their shares of unoccupied homes. Here's what we found. It says Vermont, Maine, and Alaska are the states with the highest vacancy rates. Vacancy rates in these states are 22%, 22%, and 20% respectively. In total, they translate to more than 315 unoccupied homes across the three states. It says Oregon, Washington, and Connecticut are the states with the lowest vacancy rate. Oregon has the lowest vacancy rate of 7.76%, followed by Washington at 7.87% and Connecticut at 8.09%. While these states have the lowest vacancy rates, that doesn't mean they have the fewest vacant homes. With almost 521,000 unoccupied housing units across the three states, there are nearly 206,000 more vacant homes across Oregon, Washington, and Connecticut than in Vermont, Maine, and Alaska. It says home prices in states with higher vacancy rates are often but not always lower than in states with lower vacancy rates. So let me read that again because I didn't process it. Home prices in states with higher vacancy rates are often but not always lower than in states with lower vacancy rates. Median home prices across the 10 states with the highest vacancy rates are an average of about $18,000 lower than the 10 states with the lowest vacancy rates. Homes can be vacant for a variety of reasons, and just because an area has a high vacancy rate doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with the housing market. Instead, it could mean that the area is rapidly building new homes for sale in order to satisfy high buyer demand. It can also mean that an area is a popular spot for secondary or vacation homes that go unused for most of the year. And that's what I believe is occurring, at least in Vermont and Maine. I don't know about Alaska. Now, what do I think about that? Well, vacant doesn't mean unowned. Vacant doesn't mean like that. Vacant doesn't mean that, you could buy them. It doesn't mean like, hey, if only these people would make these homes not vacant, we could fix the housing problem. So I don't like the way the story is versus the kind of headline or the thought that it's supposed to be. The headliner thought that the premise is supposed to be, there's all these vacant houses, we just need to buy them and everything's gonna be cool. The reality is no, that's not really true. A lot of people have second homes and you're just one of those people that doesn't. So screw you. Kind of smug. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Let's go to the next article and the last article for today. I thought this was interesting. This is the National Association of Realtors Young Professionals Network. Now, I don't know if I'm young at this point. I'm 44. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. But okay, here we go. Five things agents can do during the slow season. Now, I suspect that the slow season is that time between December and February. Actually, end of November into February. Now, March, we're in March now. I'm looking at houses all the time. It says, this is by Alex Craig. My real estate market in Michigan is clearly defined by a busy season and a slow season. During the slow season, it can be hard for real estate agents to stay motivated and find ways to generate new business. Every year, I see fewer and fewer people coming into the office from December to February. In fact, the office is almost a ghost town due to people taking the time off. There's nothing wrong with taking a vacation or some time to recharge, but there are still activities agents can do to stay busy during the winter months. And I agree with that. And there's things that agents can be doing when it's busy, and there's things that agents can be doing when it's not busy. There's just things you should be doing. It says, here's my quick list of 5 things real estate agents can do to stay busy during the slow season and move their business forward. Okay, number 1, it says, invest in your education. The slow season is a perfect time to invest in educational opportunities. From webinars to books to classes, there's no shortage of options. It's nearly impossible to find the time to sit down and educate yourself during the busy season. As a professional, it's our responsibility to maintain, develop, and grow our skills and knowledge. The slow season can be great for brushing up on any changes in the industry or learning more about legal issues affecting real estate. You could take the time to read real estate books or earn a designation and certification from the National Association of Realtors, like Pricing Strategy Advisor certification. It's also a great time to complete one of your state-mandated requirements for continuing education. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that thinking. Most of the time when I have to do my continuing ed, it's like probably a month or two before it's due. I always go to the same people. They always hook me up, and I have no issues. It's a pain. Like, there's things I have to do today that I don't know if I'm going to get to them, but I have to. Gonna make things. Today's going to be a tough day. I already see it coming. Number 2, QuickBooks time. If you have time on your hands, catch up on your QuickBooks or real estate accounting. I know this gets pushed off for many real estate agents. This guy is a prescient or something because he knows me. And as you know, last week I put my books in the bookkeepers, so now I need to go ahead and get them back, answer some questions, and get a statement so I can send it in with my taxes. It says, like everyone, I often struggle to get the data into my accounting software during the busy summer season. I have a clear slowdown during the winter months, which allows me to catch up on my finances and books. And from a tax perspective, the slow season comes at a perfect time. We're in the second one. Let me break into the middle and talk about this. You're a commission salesperson, okay? You're going into Christmas and you have no clients, okay? You're not happy. Like, you're worried, okay? You're worried. And so what happens during the slow season for some agents is that they stop. They shut down. They're like, I don't know what to do. I have all these buyers, that come in the spring. And what happened to me last year was a perfect example. I'm not young, but I had a terrible year. And the reason why I had a terrible year is the spring pickup, which is what I'm dealing with right now in my business, didn't ever arrive. And then when the people did arrive that wanted to buy homes, we couldn't get them under contract anywhere because that's gotten out of hand. So, it's easy to say, let's do these things during the slow months, but the motivation, the drive that comes from within is hard to get. It's hard to keep that up when you're not doing business. It's really bad. It says, create or update your business plan. So since the slow season falls around the new year, it makes a great time to review your results from the previous year and update your business plan. You can collect data about homes sold, average price points, conversion rates, and activity-based marketing you did. Then you can tie your results back to the action you took, allowing you to identify the most profitable and lucrative marketing activities. It's a chance to see what you should keep, change, or discard. Keep. These are the activities that move your business forward, and you should continue them this year. Change. These are the activities that work to some degree, but you need to modify something about them to make them more efficient and effective. For example, you might want to try a different day for open houses or leverage more virtual platforms. Discard. These are activities that had little to no impact on your business over the past year. Cut these activities to use your time and resources on activities that lead to results. That's easier said than done. Sometimes you don't know why your business is going well. Like in 2021, my business was awesome. 2020. Okay. I had every reason to believe 2021 was going to be just as wonderful. It wasn't. Why? What happened? Well, the market changed. How much does the market change have to do with your business? Just asking. 4, keep marketing. I have 2 tips about marketing during the slow season. First, continue marketing. I see too many agents cut out all of their marketing during the winter months. While there are certainly fewer people looking to buy and sell during the slow season, there are still people out there, including those considering buying or selling in the spring. Sure, you might need to cut your budget a bit in the winter months, but just don't slowly stop. For starters, in bidding channels like AdWords, Facebook, or Zillow, it's often cheaper to target traffic and leads during those times. That's because people stop marketing. That makes it cheaper to get to the top of Google and AdWords, for example, or easier to capture more share of voice with Zillow leads. Second tip, take the time to get ahead of your marketing. If your business plan includes newsletters, emails, and postcards, now can be a great time to get started on them. You can lay the groundwork for your marketing so that you can sustain your efforts through the busy season. Very tough. When there's no money coming in and you're supposed to be spending money on marketing, it is tough. It is tough, especially if those leads don't pan out like they were talking about, or like the article talks about, is while you're looking at your marketing, when you're looking at your marketing and you're looking at your spend and it's not working out, well, are you looking at your spend during the times of the season where the marketing isn't going to work anyway? In St. Louis, 2 things have happened in St. Louis that I pay attention to. One, there's a lady that used to advertise. She really literally read a book that I read, and then she ended up implementing the processes, which led to radio ads. And she built this. She used the same name as the guy and everything. And to me, It didn't work because she stopped advertising. She couldn't sustain it. Too expensive. The other person used to advertise discounted listings. She was a discount brokerage. I haven't heard of her in a year or two. Why is that? I don't know if you can dominate the airwaves and still make enough money at the end of the day. I mean, like for myself, like I'm one person and I've got Jan. Right now I am underwater with buyers. I am in a bad spot. My business is dependent on writing contracts and getting them accepted. Yet I'm fighting with people like 11 to 30 to 40 contracts on every house. This is not a good position to be in. Not a good position. You want to be listing houses right now. Okay. And I'm not. And the competition for listings is fierce. So what am I saying? It's hard to keep marketing when there's no money coming in. And yes, I do think you have to. Number 5, update and convert systems. This slow season, also the ideal time to evaluate and make changes to your business systems. For example, it's a great time to migrate to a new real estate CRM or even switch brokerages. These systems and process changes are best implemented during a slow period because it will minimize risk and diversion of resources. Conclusion: as a solo real estate agent, the slow season can be demotivating. There's also some uncertainty which can fill agents with doubt about whether real estate is a good career choice. It may have you worried about whether you have enough funds for your living expenses or if the spring market will pick up. You can fight back some of these negative feelings by staying busy and working in your business. Take the time to educate yourself, get your finances in order, build a business plan, lay your marketing foundation, and change your systems for the year ahead. Well, I think that's pretty good advice. I think that's good advice. What do you think? I don't know. I mean, there's like what I always do with my marketing. Okay. I don't do it by season. Anytime I'm going to have a spend. Okay. Anytime I know I'm going to put forth a new program and I'm going to spend money on it. The first thing that I do is I say, I don't care what happens. I'm committed to this budget for 1 year. And then I reassess. This didn't work. I spent X amount of dollars for this and it didn't work. Now, do I wait till the slow season to do it? No. As far as CRMs, I have a CRM. But I mean, there's real estate CRMs that are $150 and $200 a month. And I mean, mine's 10. And you say, well, you have to take your leads and you have to put them in the CRM and that's a pain in the ass. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I spend less in 1 year than these people are spending in 1 month. And I'm getting about the same. Now, are there things I could be doing better? Absolutely. But I've really run into some, I don't know, sad feelings in my marketing. When these couples get divorced that I've showed them their houses and helped them buy them. I mean, it hurts me. I don't want to take sides, you know. I don't want to. I don't really go after the business. You know, it's just like people die. I get upset about that. Past clients who I love, dead. And it's not from a business perspective on either of those two cases. Okay. It's not like, oh, I'm sorry this person's dead. They'll never refer me again. No. It's like, I'm sorry this person's dead. So my marketing lately, like, I mean, obviously you need to reach out to your past clients, but I have not been reaching out to my past clients lately because it's just depressing. It's depressing. So I've tried to kind of go about it different ways, but I'm not very good at it right now. I'm struggling. You know, I'm struggling to write offers that, I mean, I can write a stupid offer. I can write a more stupid offer than any other agent. But I just don't feel like that's me being a good agent. Right? I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, I know you'll watch later. Like a year from now, somebody's going to watch this, and it's just bizarre to me. But that's the nature of YouTube, and I'm good with that. So thank you for watching in the future. Future watcher, thank you. Would you subscribe? My subscriber level is down, and I don't like it. That's where I'm at. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place.